Bada bum bum. Bum. Bada bum bum. Bum. Bada bum bum. Bum. Bada bum bum.
Dice.
Bada bum bum.
Rolls.
Bada bum bum.
Dragons.
Bada bum bum.
Trolls.
Dadventurous.
Okay.
Ready.
Roll off with a D12 in 3, 2, 1.
8.
A 7. You do the intro.
Wait, what? Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Dadventurous. We are back for another week. Exciting week
It's true.
of fun.
Yeah.
And, I'm terrible at this.
You're doing great.
Back again and ready to roll.
We are indeed.
Are you ready for the recap?
So ready. I'm ready. Are you ready?
No.
All right, here we go.
Last week on Dadventurous, Kia and company were sailing towards Far-Flung Island on an airship. They got attacked by a surge dragon.
I'm helping.
You're helping. The surge dragon attacked them, got a jump scare. It turned the ship into jello. It did weird, wild magic stuff. But then Cabot and the Mojingle and our special guest
Mojingle.
and our special guest, Calvacia of the Bog, it came to the rescue on Glacia, the snowy rock. Kia climbed on to the rock and fought the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And with the help of Calvacia and the Mojingle and Cabot and Glaciera, they managed to attack the dragon. Kia came up with a plan to draw it away, but before she could do anything, the dragon promptly knocked her off the rock by landing on Glaciera's head and forcing Glaciera to flip over. She fell into the ocean and woke up with a familiar dwarf standing over her.
And so you find yourself, well done, by the way. And so
I was terrible at this.
That's great. It's just practice for upcoming times. You find yourself laying down. There's a guy standing over you, and as you realize, you feel the gentle little rock of water. You're not on anything.
I'm not on land.
You're not on land, and you start rocking around a little bit, and this very familiar-looking dwarf with sort of a scraggly beard now, still wearing his
Name tag.
Looks down at you and goes, well, thought I was catching waves today, not a cat person. And Carl from Goods Enough standing there above you.
I sit up and say, Carl?
And you are on a surfboard a couple hundred yards from the beach, and you are sopping wet.
Kia looks at him and says, can we please go to shore?
Yeah, you don't want to catch a wave?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how to surf,
And he flops down.
nor would I like
And
to learn.
He starts swimming you towards shore. You do notice as you're sitting there, you make a little perception check.
Natural 1.
Natural
For
1.
a 6.
You don't notice anything about the island because you do notice that Carl has 2 gigantic floppy elephant ears and pink hair.
What?
On the back of his head only. Yep. As he turns around.
Uh,
So tell me, little
What
cat person, what have you been up to since I last saw you?
that was so long. But amazing. She's still staring at the back of his head. I've been rummaging, and I came here to save the world and stuff. Just your average Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Is it Tuesday?
I thought it was like November.
November's not a day.
Not out here, it's not. And then he fist bumps and continues swimming.
What?
And he goes, well, last time we met, I decided to quit the corporate life and get out here on the water.
So are you trying to tell me you took a boat here? I thought no boats could get through.
Well, I don't know about no boats, but me and Brad, we surfed here. And at about that time, you start getting closer to shore, and you see a very beautiful beach
Mm-hmm.
covered in like little rock boulders, some palm trees.
Little rock
And
boulders.
you find in a section, there's very obviously a makeshift hut. Also, the thing that you see as you are cruising along, off to each side of you, but right here it's very clear. Like they have a nice little beach here. There are massive rocks with ships just wrecked upon them.
Oh,
Yep, the hut that you are seeing appears to be made of old ship parts and palm tree pieces and things like that.
as they're going towards shore, I say, "Did you take the hint from all these ships that there's more than just a tropical island?"
What do you mean? It's a paradise, man.
Well, yeah, but Kia looks up.
Okay, you look up.
Up and slightly forward. Is there any hint of the
Make
tower?
another perception check.
9.
9? Yes, there is the hint of the tower up there. You look up that, it's very foggy above you right now and around you up. You're kind of below the fog a little bit here on this beach. But you can still see remnants of a shape of a tower, and you can definitely see through the fog a little bit, that purpley dark sky up above. You also see the occasional flash and hear the occasional boom and kind of assume the battle is still going on.
Okay. Have you ever tried to go back? Do you have reason to go back to the mainland at
About
all?
that time, the surfboard gets up on the sand and he helps you up off the surfboard. He goes, "Why would we go back? This is like the best place ever."
I just can't help noticing that it left its mark on you.
"What do you mean?" And he scratches his hair and his little elephant ear shifts to the side.
Have you experienced any strange symptoms?
"Oh, you mean these?" And he pulls his ears out.
Yeah,
"Yeah, that's from yesterday.
from yesterday?
Yeah, usually doesn't last super long. But me and
Oh.
Brad have been hitting some pretty righteous waves in the last couple days.
I see.
Have you,
Well,
you know them storms that are always like hitting the land and stuff?
yeah.
They're like coming out of that tower up there, and they're making righteous like surge waves. So me and Brad have been hitting them so good. And about that time, you see Brad.
Oh, that sounds great.
So awesome. And then at about that time, he helps you up, and yeah, you're on a nice sandy beach. There is a hut nearby, makeshift beach hut. It seems to be cobbled together with like seaweed and ship parts. And you see another guy standing over there. I personally do not remember anything about what Brad looked like.
Brad was
Wasn't he older?
he was older,
Yeah.
but not too older. They were like college dorm buddies.
Oh yeah, they were dorm buddies.
Yeah, and he
Brad was not a written character, if anyone can imagine.
no.
So I don't have notes to go back on.
You mentioned him once. I met him in the garden once.
So what do you imagine Brad looks like? Carl is a dwarf, slightly scraggy, brownish hair and beard, elephant ears, and a pink patch of hair on the back of his head.
I'd like to think that Brad is human, and I like to think that he has a big fluffy beard.
Okay. It's all like crusty with salt spray.
He didn't work for Goods
No.
Enough.
Nope.
Well, I don't know. I just kind of imagined him as your general ambient.
All right. He's the most generic looking human man with a beard, a big fluffy beard of generic
variety.
shape, variety, and color. Imagine that, listeners, and you will find yourself seeing Brad. Okay, so but the unique thing about Brad as he comes over with his big fluffy beard, and he goes, "Whoa, I remember you.
Oh yeah,
You're the cat.
Yeah, you're the
Carl, look. Carl, look." And he's
Carl.
like, Carl's like, "Yeah, man, I know."
Carl actually just saved me just now. He
What?
yeah, I fell in the water.
Dude. And then he high fives Carl and you if you will accept a high five.
Sure.
He high fives you. As he high fives you, you notice that there is a crab on Brad's shoulder
What?
with a tiny seashell hat.
And who's your little friend here?
Carl goes, "Oh man, that's Pinchy."
Pinchy.
And Pinchy takes the hat off its head and nods towards you and then puts the hat back
I
on
love
its head.
this crab.
And then it clicks its little claws.
I don't have a hat, so I just bow.
And yes, that's when Pinchy clicks its claws. Carl goes, yeah, Pinchy here's been following us for a few days, ever since the crazy stuff started happening.
How long have you been here?
And Brad goes, I think a week and a half, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But the crazy stuff just started happening 2-3 days ago. That's when Pinchy showed up. And then he goes, but don't make fun of Pinchy's hat.
I won't. It's a very fine hat.
Okay. Good.
I have a feeling bad things will happen when you
That's
make
right.
fun of Pinchy's hat.
Carl picks up his surfboard. He gestures for you to join them at their hut.
How has life been going out here?
Oh, pretty good. The biggest waves in elsewhere right out here. No big deal.
Oh,
So that's been pretty cool.
it's nice. Carl was telling me about the surges.
Oh, the surge waves?
Yeah.
I gotta try to decide how they're different in voice.
Well, apparently Brad seems a little bit higher pitched.
Yeah, the surge waves. They're awesome. And as Brad turns around to lead you there as well, you notice that his left arm seems to be a octopus tentacle. And he goes, I got this one yesterday.
Oh, that looks interesting.
Carl
Ah,
steps up and he slams the surfboard down in the sand and puts it up against the beach. Can you make an Arcana check?
no. It's not that bad. A 4.
A 4, okay. You notice at least that the surfboard seems to have a normal little past world magical
A normal
essence about it.
little past
Yeah,
world
nothing-
magical.
Well, you've been able to tell what things have past world
Yeah.
magic and not. Yeah, a little hum to it.
Carl, I couldn't help but notice that your surfboard seems a little extra special. What?
It's awesome. When I came here, that was a normal surfboard.
Oh?
And now it is enchanted.
Oh!
And it makes me ride waves extra awesome. And then him and Brad
That's
high five.
That's a very specific enchantment.
Super.
Sounds fun. Sounds cool.
Carl goes over to a giant coconut pot. And he finds
How
smaller
big is this
coconuts.
coconut?
Yeah, and it's I don't know, watermelon sized.
Oh wow, that's a really big
And then he
coconut.
grabs a bunch of smaller coconuts and he reaches in with a ladle and he scoops out and pours it in and he hands it to you and he goes, do you want some Carl-Aid? I made it myself. It's got coconut,
Can I ask what the ingredients are?
coconut, sand, some seaweed, and fruit from that tree over there. Did a tree. Got some red fruit on it.
Have you tested this before?
Oh yeah, it's all we drink.
Oh.
Pinchy takes his hat off and nods to you again and then clicks its little claws as if that tells you anything. Perhaps that's all Pinchy does.
Thank you. Wow, this looks really delicious.
And him and Brad start drinking a bunch of this.
she sits down on the sand and pretends to drink it, but doesn't.
Deception check
Deception check.
versus a disadvantaged perception check.
10.
Yeah, you got a 6. They think you're drinking it.
I pretend to
it
drink
smells
it
awful.
and set it
It
down on the
smells really
sand.
bad. Carl goes, well, tell me, how'd you end up here? Why are you here?
Oh, I have some business with that. And I point to the general area of the tower.
Oh, cool.
It's about those wild magic storms that have been happening. Have you gone up to the tower
No, why would we leave the beach?
for exploration reasons?
They both look at you just with dead looks in their eyes.
They've been spending the last 2 weeks in the same spot.
I mean, we've been up to the cliff.
Oh,
And
okay.
they point kind of a little bit to the west of the beach. There is a pathway that leads up to a cliff that ends up being just over the top of ocean, like the beach
Oh.
cuts back in. And he goes, "We call that one Brad's Leap."
Did Brad leap off of it?
I did. It was righteous.
And you... Oh.
That's as far as we've been, though.
Oh, okay.
Up
Well,
to Brad's Leap.
that's...
And they high
Thank
five again.
you. This is so funny and so confusing. Wow. That sounds pretty righteous.
And then they go for high fives with Kia. Absolutely righteous.
Thank you, Carl, for saving me.
Yeah, man.
But I do need to get to that tower.
Take a moment, man. You fell pretty far, it looked like.
It's lucky I had this on me. I hold up my hand that has the ring of feather falling on it.
All right. Well, I will say, at least at about this time you're spending and talking to them and whatnot, you can take a short rest if you would like.
Okay, I would like that.
They do hand to you a stew, a kelp stew.
Oh, okay.
And that actually smells delicious because it smells like fish water and kelp and all sorts of delicious things that Kia likes.
Fish water?
Yeah, water where fish live. It's called the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Water where fish live.
Yeah. And Carl goes, "Well, I mean, yeah, if you got to get up there, the path will probably take you right there. We don't know because we've never been. But you do got to be careful, though."
Of what?
Well, lately there's been, as righteous as the storm waves are, there have been some, and Brad goes, bad dudes. Bad dudes.
Bad dudes?
Yeah, they come out of the ocean, usually after a storm, and we have to defeat them.
Oh, what are they?
This is great. This is the best voice experiment I've ever done.
The surfer boys?
They're super different every time.
Well, are they bug looking?
Nah, they're like,
Crustacean looking?
what are those things that are always roaming around and causing problems in mainland?
Oh, yeah, scrapers.
Yeah, it's one of them, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. I never dealt with those back home.
How long ago was the last storm?
Yesterday.
Okay. How often are they?
Every day.
Oh. So you do for one today?
Yeah.
Has it happened yet?
No.
Oh.
He looks outside and he goes, probably want to happen soon, though.
You know what? Maybe I'll stay for a little while. I wanna see what you're talking about. Have any of you been injured after these?
I mean, no, we've been able to rest it off. It's been fine.
Okay. I'll stay for a little while. I'll see if it comes while we're here. I'll see what I can do. But other than that, I'll start hiking.
We'll
up
say
the
this
cliff.
constitutes your short rest, taking some time. You're resting up. So you sit here for like half hour. Periodically,
Mhm.
you do hear screeches of Glaciera in the sky. You hear booms of dragons, things like that.
I don't have anything that can help them up there, so. Kia occasionally pretends to drink the Carlade.
Carlade, yeah.
But doesn't actually drink it.
Okay. We'll say, it's starting to become later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not evening yet.
How long has it been?
It's been a half hour to an hour.
Oh, okay.
And
That's not bad.
No, it's not. But then you start hearing and feeling this rumble
Oh.
as you're sitting there.
I stand up and say, "Is this a precursor?"
Carl goes, yeah. Usually there's like this big flash thing and then stuff happens. So
Okay.
I'm going to get my cocoa club. A club with a coconut strapped to the end of it.
What?
And
Okay.
Brad's like, I'm going to get my slingshot.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But a cocoa club?
Yeah, cocoa club.
Okay. Sure. You're having so much fun doing this, aren't you?
It's great. It's great. And
Brad's
and
leap.
they go outside of their hut.
Oh, we're inside?
Yeah, you're sitting inside drinking stew.
Okay.
I don't know. You're the one that created these characters. Well,
Hey,
I created them, but you wanted them to be a thing, and they're a thing.
it's just so funny. I'm loving it, but it's just so funny. Kia draws her bow
Okay.
and peeks out of the door, but doesn't go outside yet.
Okay.
Just in case there's any like rain or anything.
Carl and Brad fully go outside. They stand there, and Carl waves you over, actually. And he's like, come check it out. Look up there.
What?
Come
She
here.
looks up.
Well, yeah, so do you come out?
Yeah, I
okay,
come
you
out,
come
look
out
up.
and you look up towards the tower. Make a perception check just to see how well you see certain things.
Woohoo! 24.
Oh, a 24. Okay. You're looking up, and at that moment, the fog kind of parts a little bit, and you get a clear shot of the tower. Very
Oh.
cylindrical, tall tower, metal looking. Kind of looks like a factory. And at the top, little bits of wisp of this wild magic stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
And you see this, you feel this rumble again, and the whole thing starts to shake, and then the tower even seems like it starts to shake.
Oh.
And then at the very top, like surface tension on a glass, this bright purpley, swirly magic, like surface tensions on the top of the thing, and then goes poof, and poofs out the top like an extra little spout
Oh.
of gas, magic, whatever. And there's this bright flash as this cloud bursts out
Oh.
across the island, but then quickly turns into mist. Or not mist, but the
Clouds of.
the wild magic cloud stuff.
Yeah.
No rain, no nothing like that. But as this burst happens, you almost feel it like a pulse through you.
Oh, wow.
Brad and Carl step back a step. They feel it too. The whole sand on the beach ripples. The water ripples. And Carl and Brad turn towards the ocean.
I guess I turn towards the ocean too.
Carl goes, yeah, this has been happening the last 2 days. I think it's got to be out of the past stuff.
Yeah, from that sinked in the ocean?
There's lots of ships and stuff down
Yeah.
there. And so usually it doesn't take too long. And Brad coming over with a very giant slingshot that he jabs into the sand.
It's a
And then
really
he
big
has-
slingshot.
It's a huge slingshot that he jabs into the sand, and then he has a pile of coconuts next to him. He puts Pinchy on his head, and then he loads up a slingshot. And right about that time, Carl goes, right about now. And emerging from the water are these two crazy crab-esque like creatures.
Oh.
Maybe on four legs, though. And they come out, and they seem to be made of old ship parts. You see ship's wheels, you see cannons, you see ropes and things, all these parts from these ships.
Oh, wow.
And
That-
this
they've just
surge of
been-
magic seems to have created a scraper out of this old stuff. And as you realize, as you're looking at it, this seems to be from down deep.
Oh.
And
Not from the
not
things.
from current ships. And you see parts of ships that you don't recognize. Things like a compass, lights. So these are clearly past world ships that also
That have been-
wrecked on this rock.
Oh.
And so these creatures coming out are like hodgepodges of all these different things.
So is this what they normally look like?
Like I said, it's different every time. It's whatever pieces of past stuff they find.
Okay. Are they hostile?
Absolutely. And with that, I would like you to roll initiative as the first one looks over towards you, opens up a mouth that is full of brass fittings
Oh,
from a ship, and roars. And we have these strange
crab.
surged scrapers almost,
Ooh.
creatures that come out. And
Surge crabs.
surge crabs.
Scrabs?
Scrabs. There we go. That's pretty good. The
Scrabs.
scrabs. The scrabs come out. What did you get for your initiative?
17.
17. My guys go first.
Oh,
I got a 19 with them.
nice.
Even with your special alert feat, huh?
Yeah, even with my special alert feat.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Scrabs. Okay, so these things burst out of the water and they start clawing their way through the sand. And even though you knew they were coming and Carl called it out, they kind of catch you off guard.
I'm too busy looking at the weird
Mhm.
lights and
And
compasses.
one of them picks up one of its legs, reaches into its body, pulls out a very familiar looking thing to you, which is a boat hook,
Oh,
and then hucks it your direction as a spear attack.
wait, are hooks sharp?
No, but it's still going to hurt.
Yeah.
Probably hits with a 20.
Oh, yes,
Not a
that
nat.
does. That does hit.
And you are going to take only 5 damage.
Oh, yay.
As the first one throws towards you, and then it's not super fast, but moving towards you. The other one is going to aim for Carl, do the same thing for 9 damage.
How far away are they from me?
One moved towards you, the other one didn't really move forward. The one that moved towards you is probably about 40 feet away.
How far away is the other one?
But
To like in relation to
it would have been about 40, so 70 feet away. They can move 30 feet.
So they're in about 30 feet from each other?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to pull out my bow, since
Okay.
these are scrapers.
They are
and
indeed.
Would like to activate first charge
Of Scraper's Bane.
of Scraper's Bane.
You pull out your bow, you think of Scraper's Bane, and then you realize the unfortunate thing. Flibbit's not here.
Flippet's not here.
Flibbit's not here to help you liven up the thing. So
No.
And Maud and Beryl and Harwick
They're
and
all up
Cabot
there.
and Calvacia
And the Mojingle.
and the Mojingle, all up there.
I pull out the bow, lightning crackles through it,
Heck
and I take my first shot with a 13.
A
on
13
crab.
as a base level with all your pluses.
I rolled a 2.
Ouch. No, that does not hit.
Okay.
I think you can wait till you hit to do your...
Yeah, I think I can. So, second attack, try a 14?
A 14 also does not hit. So you don't have to use your lightning,
I don't.
but both arrows... Clink, clink.
I'm distracted. I thought too much about Flippet.
You thought too much about Flibbit, so sad. Do you want to move at all, or stay put, or bonus
I
action,
would
or are
like
you
to
good?
move up beach away.
Okay, so you back up over towards where Brad is at. He looks at you. Pinchy, the crab, takes its hat off, nods to you, and then clicks its claws twice.
Is Pinchy just moral support?
Brad looks at you and goes, "Yeah, have you seen it? It's a crab with a hat.
Oh, yeah.
How's it get more morally awesome than that?"
It's true. It's very true.
Speaking of that, Carl goes and grabs his Cocoa Club, and he is going to look back at you and goes, "I'm going to crack more than coconuts with this beauty today." And then he runs forward, and he is going to attack this
Wait, he
beast.
uses his coconut club to crack coconuts.
Yeah, it's a perfect system. And he hits
Ooh, nice.
for 5 damage.
Oh, it's a
Not a
pretty
lot.
good club.
Not a lot, Carl, but that's okay.
Hey, it's made with coconuts.
And then Brad goes, "Check this out." And he pulls back his coconut slingshot and launches it towards this creature. The coconut collides with the scraper, knocks a chunk of ship brass off of it,
Ooh.
and does 8 damage.
I just had an idea, but I just realized it's only once per day. I was thinking about putting the clock of stenchiness in the slingshot and throwing it towards
Sounds
the
awesome.
crabs.
That's,
But it's only once per day.
you haven't used it ever.
True.
That's a great idea. Unfortunately for you, it's the scrab's turn. They both clack together, ship claws. The one closer to you is going to keep focusing on you, throwing a boat hook. Ooh, natural one.
Haha!
Misses completely. It flies over your head. It has a lot of power to it, and it sticks into a palm tree. So it does look like it might hurt a lot. The other one rushes
just,
up
like-
to Carl with his Cocoa Club and goes and is going to make an attack with its thing. You see its body like spin around, and it just sticks out an arm and goes to like club him with a spin attack.
4?
Does not hit Carl.
Ooh.
Only a 13.
Nice.
And so they miss, and it is your turn. One next to Carl, one looking at you, just launched a boat hook.
She just like looks back at the palm tree, says, "Oh, that would hurt." Shouts to Brad. Brad, I have an idea.
I don't.
Well, that's great because I have an idea. I toss him the clock. I check it and say, "This clock, you need to load it into the slingshot before you press the button. Try to shoot it towards the scrabs."
Okay. Sounds awesome.
Is there only one button on this?
Yeah, it was the snooze button, I think.
Okay.
All good.
Because what if you press the wrong
Yeah,
button?
and so he prepares his turn.
So that's my bonus action?
Yeah.
Then I would like to use my action to still take 2 shots one at each of these crabs.
Okay.
First attack. No, a 12. Second attack.
Wow.
Natural
You're
one,
rolling
yeah.
so low.
Second attack. Haha! 28.
There it is. Yes, that one hits.
Okay. So first damage on the main one, which is the one next to Carl.
Okay.
7 damage.
7 damage.
I rolled a 1.
Wowsies.
Yeah, I'm not rolling good today. But
Scraper's Bane.
Scraper's Bane. I don't even do the epic saying the names of the bow. But so you actually but for now you don't roll anything. The scrab next to Carl takes 7 lightning damage,
Okay.
and your other scrab, the one that's shooting at me, needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
A natural 1.
Woo! Nice! So you also take 7 damage. Lightning.
Okie dokie.
Arcs between them.
You do the damage, it crackles between them, arcs, and it looks epic. Carl goes, righteous hit, man!
Thank.
And then he's going to...
Oh yeah, Carl,
What's up?
when you see Brad load the weird object into the slingshot, run away.
Okay. But he's going to go, all right. He's going to take a big attack. Okay, he hits.
Ooh, yay.
Barely. Oh boy, Carl with the 13 damage
Woo!
to that big one next to him. The other one that's just a little bit further away, launching stuff at you as well. And
Wait, you did damage to both?
No. I'm just saying that's where they are. They're probably about 10 feet apart. Carl's going to go, all right, I'm making a run. And he's going to attempt to make a run away, but that means one of these gets an attack of opportunity on Carl.
Yeah, but...
With a natural 7, that will not do it.
Yes!
Carl dives away. He runs over and he skids to a stop in the sand. And Carl's looking pretty cool right now.
With that skid.
And then Brad goes, all right, I'm going to load it.
Yeah! Load it!
All right, everybody stand back. Pulls the slingshot back. And he goes, boop, on the clock.
It begins a countdown from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2. And he goes, here we go. And he launches it. And as it's flying through the air, it does that slow-mo spin.
Yeah.
And you see the countdown timer go, 2, 1. And then it hits one of the scrabs right in the square in the scrab face. And it goes, 0. And now what happens?
And then it begins to emit a cloud of very, very stinky gas in a 20-foot area.
All right.
Oh, I just made a huge mistake. Is it like Flip It stench spray where it's acidic?
Yeah. It still works on them. I didn't make any. I don't really usually make things that don't work on stuff too much.
Okay.
Because it's damage or what?
It is. You need to make a Constitution saving throw on both of them.
I have treated it that it works on them.
It's acidic stench.
I got a 12.
Nope.
And I got 3 plus 3 is 6.
Nope.
Okay.
Yay! So, you'll be forced to use your movement to exit the cloud on your turn.
Okay, so a big green puff of cloud fills up, and they are stuck in it. Brad reaches over to you and asks for a fist bump by holding out his fist.
I fist bump.
Nice. Pinchy, again, does the exact same thing that Pinchy does.
I really wish I had a hat right now so that I could tip a hat back, but...
And you watch as the Scrabs spend their movement now on their turn.
To exit.
I am going to roll.
Doesn't say direction.
D4, because it's a big stinking cloud. Which direction to run? 1 direction, it's towards Carl. If they run in a 2 direction, it's towards you and Brad. 3 and 4 is
away.
Okay. First Scrab, a 4.
Yes!
Second Scrab, a 1 towards
Ooh.
Carl. So one of them runs away, and you see it appear out of the cloud a little bit further along. One of them has closed the gap with Carl, sort of accidentally, but Carl is standing there.
Well, he's
They are
already
also
melee.
now pretty far apart from each other.
Okay.
So they're not within, they're probably about 50 feet apart from
That's
each other.
fine.
Okay, it's your turn.
I would like to still just take 2 shots. I want to save my spells. So I'm going to just take 1 shot at the first Scrab. which is I'm finally rolling good. A 25,
A 25 definitely hits.
which means it takes 11
11 damage.
damage.
Okay. To which one?
The one next to Carl.
Okay.
And then the second scrab does a non-natural 20 hit.
Absolutely hits.
Yeah. 10 damage.
That one you can finish off.
Ooh, okay. I like to think that it's already been weakened by the very stinky stench of my clock of stinginess. And so I draw an arrow, shoot it, and I like to think that it goes right in between a light and a boat hook.
Nice.
And I like to think that it goes in there and it.
Right as it goes in, you
It's-
hear it hit a ship's bell. And it goes boom, boom, boom. And then the thing rattles apart and explodes.
The ship's about.
Yeah. And is now Carl's turn. All right, here we go. And he's going to take his Cocoa Club. 19 hits.
Ooh!
Okay. The thing drops down. One of its legs blows off. You hear the sound of like a foghorn, like go out as part of its body like opens up, but it's still going on. Brad goes, "All right, buddy, you ready?" And you look over, and Brad has loaded Pinchy into the slingshot.
I was wondering when he would shoot somebody in the slingshot, but I didn't expect Pinchy.
And you see Pinchy look up to him, dip his hat, his little seashell hat, put his pinchers out like this, and go clack, clack in front of him. And then Brad goes, "All right, man, let's go." And he launches Pinchy the crab.
Wow.
Pinchy the crab.
How does
Flies.
his hat even stay on?
Wild magic. Pinchy the crab
It's a magnetic
flies
hat.
forward. He's 16 on the dice, which means Pinchy hits. We are going to say Pinchy does an extremely small amount of damage, but for being a
A projectile?
projectile, he got the 4 on the D4,
Does that finish
which
it?
is enough to finish him.
How does Pinchy do this?
Pinchy flies forward, and you see the scraper reach up its 2 claw things and try to catch Pinchy, and Pinchy goes right between them, collides in with that foghorn noise, and it flies into the middle, and you hear it hit that foghorn. It was going, ooh, boop, and then you hear the thing go, grr, 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 and you just see it explode, and then coming out, and Brad and Carl run in slow motion. And they dive forward, and they reach out, and they both catch Pinchy together in one hand. And then Pinchy takes his hat and nods it and does 2 little click clicks with his arms.
Kia just applauds. That was amazing, Pinchy. That was amazing.
And
She's like perform. She'd tap dance.
you think we could take this like on the road?
Yeah.
Like make money and stuff?
Yeah. Pinchy would do great as a tap dancer, and I bet that Brad would make a pretty good musician. Carl,
He's the salesman.
that's true, actually.
Carl's the front
He'd
man.
be the salesman. I was trying to figure out whether he was like director or
No, he's the hype guy.
you'd be the salesman.
That's right. Well,
You can take this on the road.
and they're sitting there taking a breath, and they go, "All right, we should be good until tomorrow."
yeah.
But that means, and him and Brad high five each other, there's going to be some pretty righteous waves the rest of the day.
Oh, the surge.
Yeah, and you look out on the ocean, and there's very sparkly, beautiful, wild magic waves starting to crash on the shore. And every time they lap against the sand, something new, the sand turns into like grass, and then turns into snow, and then turns into rock, and it's just kind of changing.
I like to think that at one point it turns into neon glitter.
Neon glitter for sure. And Carl's like, "So, what else can we do for you?"
You say you've gone up to the top of Brad's leap?
"Yeah,
Can you lead me up there just to show?
let's go." And they high five each other and start rushing up the beach. You join the
I
high
throw
five.
in a high five.
Nice, the triple high five. And
Which
they start
sounds
rushing up the
extremely
beach.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Can you please roll a perception check for me as you guys start rushing up the beach?
Non-natural 20.
As you start rushing over to the beach, you see that there's a trail that kind of cuts through a couple palm trees and starts going up on some rocky cliffs. at a pretty steep angle. You're going to have to run up it, kind of like steps, kind of like an angle. You hear
Natural
and
steps
feel
sort of
this.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. You hear and feel this whoosh of air pass by you. And as you look over, you see two shapes in the mist.
Oh.
Right above your heads. You see a very large bird wing shape and then a dragon shape. And you hear the screeching and see some magic stuff going by. Nice. And they're flying pretty close to you guys.
Oh.
And making a curve. You want to do anything?
I shout.
Okay.
Really loudly.
Okay.
Calvasia, Cabot, are you there?
I don't care about sneaky right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you yell, and Carl's like, come on, let's get up a little higher. You get up to the top of this cliff. You're overlooking the ocean now. There's rocks out beyond, but
So,
straight down is deep water.
how tall is this cliff?
Oh, it's probably like 60 feet.
Brad jumped off of this?
Yeah, man. And Brad goes, yeah, I jumped off it like 3 times.
Whoa. Are you like a professional diver or something?
I'm pretty cool.
Wow.
And
Righteous man.
yes. Yes. And at about that time, you see a clash in the clouds. You see the shadows of these two creatures come together, and you see them collide. You see flashes of magic. You see flashes, of wild magic. You see flashes of fireworks going off in there. You see Calvasia launching some big stuff. And then you see falling shapes.
Wait, of big variety or little variety?
Big variety.
Big variety.
And slowly coming out of the fog, as you guys are kind of underneath it, you see Glaciera and the dragon locked in like a death fall.
Oh.
And they're together, their claws are together, and their noses down, and they are spinning and diving for the rocks. And at the very last second, Glaciera flips the dragon down and punts it into the rocks, and the dragon explodes into wild magic, mist, and awesomeness. That was rad. And then Glaciera at the last second curves up right at that cliff underneath you guys. You see her climbing right up underneath.
I shout and wave my arms. Guys, I'm alive. I'm here.
And Glaciera lets forth a loud screech. And her claws come out and grab the cliff where you guys are there. And she pulls herself up, and sitting on her back, of course, is Calvasia, Cabot, and the Mojingle. They gesture for you to come on board as Carl says, "That's no seagull, man. That's crazy."
No seagull. That
And
is really big bird.
that's a big bird. Carl helps you up onto the bird, reaches forward for one last high five. He goes, "I don't know what you're up there for, but good luck, man." And you high five
Good
him.
luck
And
on
he goes,
your surfing.
"Thanks." And then he waves at you and he goes, "Remember, waves can crash and crash on the rocks all day long, but until you get out there and surf one, they're just waves. You know what I mean?"
I think I do.
And then
Wise words.
Glaciera back flaps off the rock. Brad reaches forward and he tosses you a coconut.
Uh-huh.
And make an acrobatics check.
Natural 20
You
for
catch it.
27.
You catch it, and it has 4 straws in it to share. And
Oh.
it's some of the Carl aid. And then you look at the very last bit as Pinchy the crab does one more nod with its hat and goes clack clack with its claws.
I nod and
Glaciera backs away off
Wave.
the cliff. You all wave to each other, and the very last thing you see is 3 of them fist bump and then swan dive off of Brad's leap into the ocean. And that is where we're going to end this session.
you had so much fun
I
with this.
did. I knew I had to do an episode with Carl and Brad and Pinchy, of course. The new crab
Also,
familiar.
that was great. Carl's speech at the end.
I wrote it
not
and I was
quite
like,
sure what he meant.
exactly. I was like, I want to make it sound motivational and mean nothing. So, hey, until you get out there, they're just waves.
It's true.
You know, it makes perfect sense to nobody.
I mean, I'm trying to I think I know what it means, but I'm trying to figure out why I think I know what it means.
Exactly, which is exactly why Carl said it. All right. And that is where we're going to end this week's episode. We're going to be back next episode, bringing the mom back in for one more
One more.
final push, and then moving on to the tower. So,
We'll see you next time. Thank you for all your righteous support.
yes, all the righteous support, man. We've been getting reviews, people giving us shout outs on Apple Podcasts and all that stuff too. So we love that. It's been super awesome. Thank you guys. And everyone have just like a righteous week.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have an awesome week.
Yeah. High five like 2 people this week. Maybe 3.
That's your goal.
That's your goal. And remember, in the wise words of Carl, waves and waves can crash on rocks all day long, but until you go out there and surf one,
They're just waves.
see you next week.
On
Dadventurous.
Dadventurous.